Welcome to another Chess.com podcast. Now today I want to look at a tactical game. It's a game between Malachi and Bjornsson. It's from Dresden in 1969. Now I'm going to use the Chess.com Games Explorer as we play through this game. Malachi was white and played e4, and this was met with a mod defense, g6, d4 was played, followed by bishop to g7, and we see that the first few moves of this game are all quite standard. There are thousands of games in the database played with these moves. Bishop e3, and here we look at knight f6, and then we had f3 played to shore up that pawn on e4. And in the book I'm reading, we saw the move played, castle, which is the second most favourite move, but after the castle there's a question mark. Now why would there be a question mark straight after this castle? This is only the fifth move in the game, and white's already claiming here that black's in a lost or a losing position. It says, I'll read the paragraph to you. A basic error. White is obviously preparing a standard king-size attack with queen to d2, followed by castling long, then h4, h5, etc. It was imperative for black to seek counterplay before subjecting his king to a dangerous attack. The correct play, instead of castling, was c6. Then black can expand on the queen side with b5, queen to a5. If white castles queenside, then he must worry about his own king's safety. This will distract him from his automatic kingside attack. If on the other hand white decides to castle kingside, then his kingside attack will be weakened. The king rook is needed on the h-file. And besides, advancing pawns in front of your own king is always double-edged. So the problem here seems to be that black's committed himself too much. If we go back and play black castling, queen to d2, we then see that Bjornsson's next move was this c6. So it's the same two moves, but he's played them in a different order, and in the opening, move order is vitally important, as we'll see. Now we've already discussed white's options here and his plan, and that is to castle long. b5 comes from black, and then we see bishop h6. Now it's interesting position. This is a position that I've been in quite a few times with the bishop coming down to h6. Now you can't take here. It's very dangerous if black was to take this bishop. Now if we look on the Games Explorer, we can see a couple of games here, both won by black, where the bishop is taken on h6. So let's pick one of these games. Bishop takes h6, and clearly the queen takes back. We'll choose this game at the bottom here, where the queen comes to a5. h4 is played. b4, knight to b1, e5. Oh, sorry, I played d5 there, just take that move back. e5, g4. We can see white's really storming ahead with this attack, but black's got an attack of his own, targeting the king side where there aren't many white pieces at all. h5, this really is going to be a fight to the death. Knight on b to d7, h takes g6, f takes g6, g5, bishop takes a2, g takes f6, knight takes f6, d takes e5, d takes e5, b3, trapping in this bishop, c5 is played by black here, bishop to c4 with check, king has to move out of check obviously, goes to h8, now the rooks come down to d7 and black is lost. There's going to be a mate on the back rank, or black's going to have to throw a lot of pieces and eventually the mate will come anyway. So if we go back to our position, after the bishop comes to h6, we can see that taking the bishop on h6 is off limits. Bjornsson knew that the bishop was off limits, and instead in this position played b5, continuing his attack on the white king. Knight c to e2 is the only move here. a5 is played, and now we can see that the game appears. After a5, white charges up the board with this break, h4, looking to play h5 immediately. Queen comes to c7, there's h5, e5, bishop takes, king takes, h takes the g-pawn, f takes the g-pawn, obviously opening up the h-file would be extremely bad here for black. The queen comes in with check on h6, king drops back to g8, d takes e, d takes e, and then this is a brilliant move here. You can spot this move. It's knight to f4. Really looking to just pile on the pressure. He's got the bishop ready to come out here with the check, the killer check. So he takes he takes the knight. The bishop comes with c4. The rook has to be placed in front, otherwise we know what's coming. Bishop takes, king takes. The reason the king takes here, if you just go back a second, is if the queen took on f7, then rook d8 would be winning here for white. So the king takes. Then we see a brilliant sacrifice here, which is the queen to h7. 19 moves in, and Bjornsson resigns. He resigns because after knight takes, then simply rook to h7. The king's got nowhere to go, so rook takes, and a clear win here for white. It's a very interesting game, and it all stemmed from this early position where black played incorrect move order and chose instead the castle king side rather than to play c6 and forcing white to make the decision whether to castle into the attack or not. I hope you've enjoyed this Chess.com podcast. There'll be another one very soon.